Hello, welcome or welcome back if you've been in this channel before. What I would like to bring to you today is something slightly different. We're going to do a 15-minute restorative practice. So really focusing on unwinding and relaxing throughout our body. And we'll also do a couple of breathing exercises, also known as breathwork, or in Sanskrit, pranayama. So we're going to go ahead and get started in a supine bound angle pose. So just come to lie down on your mat. Belly is facing up, and then just pressing the toes together and the soles of the feet together. So opening the hips out wide, the knees come to either side of the mat, and then making this diamond shape with the leg. And you can have it as narrow or as wide as you want, and then just really make sure your shoulder blades are squeezing inward so that you're really lengthening the back of the neck. And once you've found this comfortable position, you can just go ahead and close your eyes or soften your gaze and start to bring your attention in towards your body. Start to deepen the breath. Start to notice each and every point of your body pressing onto the mat, onto the surface beneath you. Whether that's the back of the head or the outer edges of the feet. And you may choose to start with your arms out wide, or perhaps you want to place them on your lower abdomen. So you can tune in a little bit more with the inhales and the exhales, the rising and falling of the belly. And we'll just start with our first pranayama. This one is called the Dirgha pranayama. And it is the first one because it seeks to activate the three parts of your breath inside your body. So that will be your belly, your lungs, and your clavicles. So the way we'll do it is you'll take a deep inhale all the way to your belly. You fill it up as much as possible. And then you're going to hold the breath for a couple seconds and then inhale once again to really fill up your lungs. And then again, you'll hold the breath. And then finally, you'll take in one last breath in, really squeezing as much air as possible into the clavicles. And then you exhale out completely through the nostrils. So let's start by taking a deep breath in and a heavy exhale out to just empty ourselves out completely before we begin. And then inhale deeply in towards the belly. Start filling your abdomen up. Hold it at the top. Now inhale, fill up your lungs. Hold it at the top, and then just squeeze in a little bit more air, fill up your clavicles, and exhale completely. Beautiful, we'll do this twice again. Inhale fully into your belly. Hold the breath at the top. Inhale, filling up your lungs. Pause at the top, and then final inhale. See if you can squeeze in as much air as possible, and then exhale fully. Last time, in your own pace. And once you have exhaled all the air out, you can come back to your natural breathing pattern. Letting go of the control, letting go of the effort. And now start bringing your legs in towards each other. Knees point up to the ceiling. And then grabbing hold of both knees, bringing them closer to your chest, squeezing them. And then start to draw some circles, making these circular motions with the hips, moving gently and mindfully. Staying conscious and aware of the sensations that take place in every moment. And whenever you're ready, come to a gentle stop and then start to make your way up to a cross-legged seat. So sitting tall, really lengthening through the spine, rounding the shoulders back, and then tilt the neck forward and start to draw some semicircles with the head. Right ear comes to the left shoulder, chin to the chest, left ear, left shoulder. One more. And coming back to center, sending your right arm out so the palm is really facing forward as if you're really like squeezing or pressing into a door. And then just grabbing hold of your fingertips with your left fingertips and really extending the forearm here. You'll feel a sense of lengthening through the right wrist. And release. Just do the same on the other side. Left arm comes out in front of your face, grabbing hold of the fingertips and then pulling back while you really focus on pressing the bottom of your left palm forward. And exhale, release. And then start to mobilize your wrist by drawing some circles. And changing directions now. And then clasping your hands together behind your back, really pressing those fingertips down, and then start rolling the shoulders up, forwards and up as you inhale, and then exhale back and down. Let's do 2 more like this. And then let's reverse the movement here. And then coming back to center, finding stillness. And then we'll just press our palms onto our knees and start moving our spine in a circular motion. Again, moving slowly. You can choose to engage the shoulders, drawing them in, and the neck. And again, reversing directions. Remember to connect the breath and the movement in a way that feels natural rather than forced. And finding stillness once again, bringing your fingertips in front of you on the ground, and then just start to walk them forward as you fold forwards over your legs. It doesn't matter how far down you come. What matters is that you can find a sense of ease and comfort in this pose. fully surrendering into this asana. And then as you inhale, lift in the head and start to walk your fingertips back towards you. Now, bring in the soles of the feet together, press them into each other, come into Baddha Konasana, to this butterfly diamond shape, and then just grabbing the inner edges of your feet, the inner arches of your feet, as if you were opening a book, and then just pulling them towards you as you fold again. Keep opening the knees out. You should feel a sense of lengthening through the hips. And then just breathe here. You can again stay a little bit more upright, or you can kind of work into your hips with each breath, and then see if you can find a little bit more depth in this pose. But we're not here to push ourselves today. We're here to restore. Final in-breath. Final out-breath. And ever so slightly coming up vertebra by vertebra. And then closing your knees in again as if it was a book. And then really hugging those knees into the chest. Perhaps grabbing hold of the elbows with the arms. And slowly making our way to a tabletop position, stacking shoulders over elbows and wrists. Fingertips are wide, pressing the knuckles into the mat. And really not collapsing through the spine. And then sending the right leg out in a straight line. Exhale, bending the knee in, bringing it behind your right wrist, and then really gliding that back leg further back, coming to a pigeon pose. As you inhale, walk your fingertips towards you to lift up. Find length through the spine. Grow tall. Make sure your hips are stacking and that you're in an internal rotation of the hips. Look forwards, and as you inhale, you might want to start folding over your front leg. So you can either place the forearms down, or perhaps you want to melt a little bit deeper, pressing one hand over the other, and then allowing your head to just rest over your palms. Not your palms, sorry, the tops of your hands. And we'll stay here for 5 breath cycles. As you inhale, lifting the head and then finding the fingertips on your mat. Sitting on your right bum and then bringing that back leg forwards. Just on the outside of your right knee, on your right thigh. And then we're going to just grab hold of the left leg, bring it into the chest as we twist over to the right. To the left, sorry. We're going to gaze past the left shoulder here. And coming through center. Opening the left leg out, finding this half straddle. And then Placing the sole of the right foot into the left groin, sitting up tall, and here start leaning towards your left toes. And we'll just find a little bit of ease here. So you can stay in this position, or you can lift your right arm up and see if you can perhaps find your left toes. And we'll stay for 3, 2, 1. As you inhale, unravel, and then coming to face the front of the mat, we'll find that tabletop stance again. We'll do the same on the other side. Inhale, lift the left leg out in a straight line. Breathe in. As you exhale, bend the knee in, and then just allow it to drop behind your left wrist, gliding that back leg further away from you, finding pigeon pose. Making sure the hips are facing down. And then inhale, lift, grow tall through the spine. Exhale, fold. And then choosing your variation. And working through a place of honoring what there is rather than pushing yourself to the limit. Moving with the body and not with the ego. And we'll stay here for 5 breaths. Inhale, lift the head up. Come to your fingertips. Start walking them closer to you. Grow tall through the spine. And then inhale as you bring the back leg forwards, and then you just place it down on the outer left thigh. Grow tall through the spine, and then hug your right knee into the chest. Bring your right fingertips behind you, gazing past the right shoulder. As you inhale, find length. As you exhale, find depth. Twist deeper. We'll stay for 3, 2, 1. Look forwards, release the arms, and then just moving the leg, open it out to the side. Again, coming to this half straddle. So placing the left heel on your right groin, growing tall through the spine. If you already feel the sensation of lengthening through the hamstring on the inner right thigh, you can just stay here. If you choose to go a little bit deeper, you can just lean towards your right leg and then just place your forearm down. And if you want to take it a little bit deeper, lifting the left arm up, circling it to the side, finding the right toes. And we'll stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, release. Roll your body over, coming to find that tabletop position. And then we'll make our way into a cross-legged seat or kneeling for our final pranayama. So finding whatever is most comfortable to you. And we'll do a few rounds of box breathing. So we'll inhale for the count of 4, hold our breath for the count of 4, exhale for the count of 4, hold our breath for the count of 4. Very straightforward. So inhale deeply. And exhale fully. Empty yourself out completely before we begin. And then whenever you're ready, keeping your eyes closed, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. Hold the breath. Inhale. Hold the breath. Exhale. Hold the breath. Let's do 2 more rounds in your own pace. And whenever you're ready, again, finding your natural rhythm. And you may wish to take a Shavasana here. Otherwise, I will be ending the practice. Stay for as long as you want. But I thank you very much for allowing me to guide you through this breathwork and asana practice today. And I hope to see you back in this channel again. Namaste.